What is up, guys? Sam from the Byeforever family back with another video, and today I'm going to be walking you through what I call the process. I don't know if I'm going to make this into a series or what I'm going to do with it, but basically this is another variation on the cleanup attack video. So we have seen the basic cleanup attacks where we show one attack and then the subsequent cleanup. This one gonna be a little bit more like if you're familiar with the Jake from One Hive Days, the Death of a Town Hall 10 video. We're gonna be doing something similar, but for this first one, we'll be doing it with a Town Hall 12. Now, one of the things that I like to say when I talk about Hello for Now anywhere, even on our recruitments, is that we are minimal planning but maximum fun. And some people think that that might mean, it's kind of a YOLO clan. And it might seem that way to a lot of people, honestly. But I'm going to show you guys the process that we go through and why our guys can come up with a plan and how we kind of build upon the plan to eventually get the triple. And so the base that we'll be looking at is base number 11 from this past war in the AWL. Here it is laid out for you. You can see that maxed out Giga Tesla up at 11 o'clock, and not 100% upgraded. Looks like we've got a couple of things. We've got an archer tower and maybe a couple of, not the whiz towers, but anyway, we've got this base here that we're going to be taking a look at, and there are a few people who went into this. So this was 4 attacks actually to get this one cleaned up. So let's get the first one up on the screen, and then we can talk a little bit more in detail about what went on. And you can see from right there that the first one up was Steve. So let's take a pause and let me just kind of maybe see if my draw tool will come up here. We can talk about what the original plan was, what Steve was thinking. Now obviously I'm not Steve, so I didn't come up with the plan. Steve came up with the plan, but let me tell you about some of the things that we look for when we're identifying bases, what makes something attractive to us. So first off, I'm imagining that what Steve saw was these Inferno compartments. And every time that we see an Inferno compartment, the first thing that we look for is where the Town Hall is in relation to the Inferno towers. And if we can take a battle blimp and blimp in straight to the Inferno compartment, because that basically negates that entire compartment. Then from there, we got to think about, what CC that makes the most sense to blimp in. Is there a lot of splash damage in the area? Are there air defenses in that area? What are we trying to take out? Now, in both of these compartments, there's a wizard tower, there's some storages, so Valks don't make a lot of sense to be in the CC, because they're going to get hung up on those big storages. The splash damage will be rolling down on them, and they'll die out pretty quickly. Will you get the Inferno? Maybe, maybe not. But in both cases, there isn't really, a big air threat, and those max loons can actually take quite a pounding. Now, let me see. Let's see if I can get that off. Let me talk about where Steve decided to come in on this attack. So Steve decided to blimp in right from 3 o'clock and bring it into this compartment. Use a haste spell, try to get as much value as he can, and his goal, I believe, was to clear out this compartment and maybe potentially grab this air defense. Then from there, you can see the rest of his comp. He's got basically a LaLo cooked up. Now, the other great thing about using the blimp is obviously pulling the CC. So when he gets into that first Inferno compartment, he will pull the CC in this one. And then we can go in and take care of the CC. Now, he chooses to do a little bit of funneling down here and then take care of the CC kill right there. And even if he doesn't get that air defense, if he does everything right, his queen should walk this direction and take care of the air defense anyway for him. Then let me see if I can switch colors here for us. I guess we'll just do blue for this, and we'll do blue for this one. And so from there, Steve can basically just send in a LaLo with a bunch of loons in from behind all of this area, as well as take care of the exposed Town Hall. Now, a lot of times when we see Sui LaLos, we think about just taking care of the Town Hall with the hero trade, but obviously with Steve trying to grab that air defense, he's going to want to send his heroes in down there. Now he's got the Skelly spell. The queen is in a little bit of a difficult spot because of that bomb tower, but it can obviously be done. She's going to run over to the air defense over at 1 o'clock, and so it's going to be not terrible of a Skelly kill, and then he'll just continue to work the loons in counterclockwise around the base, eventually finishing up down here. So let's get all of this cleared up and take a look at Steve going in on the very first hit and see the things that we learned from this original plan that we came up with. And yeah, so I'm going to actually 2x through the beginning, because you can see he does let the time kind of tick down here. So there we go in with that battle blimp, and in just a second, there it is, pops it up. Now, things that happened right there. So let's take a quick pause. That sweeper turning, that's the first thing that we learned. The double drags, you see, not a huge issue, but the sweeper is the big issue here, because if he was trying to grab the air defense, obviously not going to be able to. Didn't even clear out the entire compartment with just that haste spell. So I think I will put some of this on 2x here, just so that we can make sure that this video doesn't take forever to go through the process. But the king walks up. That's a little unfortunate. That's probably not the direction he wanted the king to go, but the queen, she's still going to do exactly what he wanted to. Step up into that little cove, get the air defense, and now we are ready to go with the LaLo. So here we go. Find that outside Sam. That's good information. There's the warden. There's the third hound coming in. The loons all coming in with the haste spells. Gets the rage down. Kills the queen. Freezes the town hall. Now here the pathing gets just a little strange. Does get a couple of loons away. A few did go down there. And then he's got a heal spell on the back end. Now, that heal spell is going to be one of the things that we're also going to be thinking about. Obviously, you want the heal if you're going into something with multiple wizard towers, with Teslas on the back end. Any of those could obviously wreck the end of a raid. But right there at the very end, things got a little bit too slow. If the loons had been moving a little bit faster, maybe 2 haste spells could have pushed them through a little bit quicker, would have gotten it done. But either way, a great job to Steve. Excellent base recognition and a wonderful plan for us to build upon. So let's jump out of that one and move on to the next person who went in on it, and it was Mock on his Kane account. Coming in, and let's look at the little changes here. So Mock basically has the exact same troop composition cooked up, except he's got wall breakers in this one. Now, I wasn't exactly sure where he was looking to bring the wall breakers in at, but we'll just kind of go ahead and put this on very beginning. We'll 2x through the beginning of the raid, because we do know what's going on here. But look, there's the first change. He switches from the haste to the rage spell. Almost clears that compartment out, but does get just a little bit more on the funnel. Brings in the wizards a little bit better, so that the king does walk the proper direction, does the tanking, and now we can go ahead and slow things down as the CC goes down here. Queen, she's on much, much higher health in this one. So as she steps up, she's going to get that storage, she's going to get this expo, and then she's going to walk around the corner. She's going to get the whiz tower on the back end. So that is nice. And then he goes ahead, sends in the wall breakers. Now, I'm not sure what the goal was. If he was trying to get all the way to that sweeper, that would have been absolutely insane if he had gotten there. But it does get that expo that caused trouble on the back end. And here we go in with the LaLo. So again, exact same type of flight. 3 hounds once again. Being a little bit more careful with these haste spells. First hound did go down very quickly. Second hound is about to go down as well. But queen in the perfect spot for the Skelly kill. He's got everything working in. Freezes down that town hall. Unfortunately, though, right here, pops the warden ability. And yeah, the splits just did not work out in his favor. Once again, getting the heal spell down on the back end. Things move a little bit slow. He does have plenty of back end loons to come in on this one. And we'll go ahead and start to speed this up, because you can see it right up there at 11 o'clock what the issue is. And it's going to be that Giga Tesla. That's the one defense that you cannot leave up when you're doing the LaLo. The loons just are not going to be able to overwhelm it at the very end, especially when they all have to path there. So very nice try to Mock in that one, but let's move on to the next hitter. So the next one up is Meepsy, and Meepsy went in, if I can get it to load here. All right, so now we've changed the comp up. We have ditched the wall breakers. There's 10 troop space. We decided we're not worth it. Still the spell composition, the exact same in this one. Going with the rages, going with the heal, going with everything. But I want to point out what Meeps did in this one. So what we have seen thus far every time is the blimp coming in right on that 3 o'clock corner over top of the cannon. So what Meeps very smartly does in this one is she moves the blimp placement over just about right to 4 o'clock. The blimp will fly in. It will be a little bit closer, so it's going to definitely get this air defense taken care of. And then again, if we can clear out this entire compartment, right now there is no need to worry about suiing in the heroes down at the 3 o'clock area. So that's previously where we had done the sui at, because we wanted to get that air defense with the queen. Now that that air defense is going to not be a factor in this one, you can see she's got a couple of archers, and those archers are for the lore. So we have seen that there are 2 Teslas, and 1 Tesla is right here, and 1 Tesla is right here. And I'm sorry that those X's are terrible. It's very hard to freehand those. But either way, nothing is covering this builder hut and this storage. So what Meeps is going to do is she's going to drop down an archer up there, and then as the dragons do approach, go ahead, get the king down, get the queen down, get the poison spell down, and instead of suiing down at 3 o'clock, we're just going to sui out the town hall. Because in Mock's case, he kind of underestimated it. In Steve's case, once again, the loon pathing kind of screwed him up just a little bit. Just losing a few of those loons was just too detrimental in that one. If he had had those couple of loons up at the very end, might have had it. They were on a little bit low health in this one, but this idea right here completely changes the raid. Now, something that did happen, unfortunately, and I'm going to clear this off again and then come back to it. What unfortunately happened for Meeps in this one is because she moved the blimp placement, she was unable to get this wizard tower and this cannon. And as soon as that happened, that completely changes the pathing in this one. So not getting those 2 defenses means that bringing in the LaLo from that 2:30 to 12 o'clock area is just not going to work, because the loons will path to the cannon and then down to the wizard tower and then down to that cannon. You get a kind of weird split. The loons end up in the dead zone, and that's not exactly what you want. So what Meeps instead decides to do is go ahead and bring the LaLo in from down at 6 o'clock, and she's now going to work it clockwise around the base as, you know, everything comes in. And that's fine. That's obviously a great one. Now, there are a couple of issues with it. Now, first off, obviously the queen and her placement, when she jumps out to meet the loon, she's going to be much closer to that bomb tower. It's going to make the skelly kill just that much more challenging. And additionally, she's got the eagle, going to be a little bit farther into the base, so it's going to be raining down shots for quite a while longer. And then the one big thing is this sweeper. That sweeper is right gonna start when the raid starts. So as soon as she deploys those first hounds and loons, that sweeper is going to be going off, and it is going to be causing havoc the entire raid. And that right there is what's going to make things go a little bit difficult for Meeps and make her life overall a little bit more difficult. So let's go ahead and put this one on. I guess we'll watch this one in regular speed, since this is where we start to see the changes. Now again, you see the blimp coming in, the rage spell is there, the loons do path very, very nicely in, they do get that sweeper as well, but she misses the Inferno Tower, she misses that Wizard Tower, she misses that cannon, and that is where the pathing starts to change up. Because it's going to be a little bit more difficult now to get that first hound to fly the right way, to tank exactly what she needs. But again, we've got the archer now, and this time doing the lore. There is the king. Beautiful poison spell, catches the ground skellies, and now she is going to be able to work her way straight through all of this, get that town hall taken care of on the Sui, and that is what we like to see when you're doing these Sui LaLos, especially any time that we see these exposed town halls. That is exactly what we're looking for. That's definitely what I'm looking for. If I can find the town hall easily exposed or on the outside, that is exactly what I'm going to go for. And now here she goes in with the LaLo. You can see first hound goes down, second hound goes down. Still going with the 3 hounds. And I think that that is a little bit of overkill. We have seen the base be not destroyed, but definitely overpowered by the loons thus far. And you can see that sweeper really giving her troubles. There is the warden ability. Does catch all of the loons, but once again, everything starts to slow down. And that has been the problem in every one of these raids. We get the heal spell down for the wizard tower, the double maxed out Teslas on the back end, but everything is just moving too slowly, and that is really just killing these loons. Even with the heals, she got a couple of bad splits in this one, but that is what just does it in. The loons just moving too slow. You can see even right here, loons coming in to those wizard or the archer tower, the double Tesla, and that's gonna do it in. So Meeps definitely giving us something new to look at. Possible to get that air defense, possible to to Sui that town hall, and so we have seen just a little bit of everything. So we've gone from Steve's original raid all the way up to something that is once again very, very close, and now we look at the one that got it done. It is Queen Cordelia knocking this one out. And let's look at the small changes that have been made here. Once again, I'm going to take the Skelly spell, but the troop spell comp has changed. This troop and the spell comp have changed, I should say. Dropping 1 hound, bringing in extra loons, and then bringing a rage spell instead of the heal. So the loons aren't going to slow down in this one. They are going to be ready to go right off the bat. Now, I've paused it at a terrible time because, as you can see, there is already 1 loon on the screen there over at 2:30, and that is to take care of that outside Sam. We know that it's there. Might as well take care of it instead of letting the hound eat it up or losing one of the loons on the main push. But because we basically know everything in this raid at this point, we've got the plan. It's there. It's just about keeping these loons moving a little bit quicker, and so let's watch it go in real time. So using a couple of more loons on the early part of this raid. There is the rage, getting the bomb tower. That sweeper does go off, unfortunately. Once again, missing the Inferno tower, but because of those extra couple of loons, did get the wizard tower and the cannon taken care of. So while this is going, we can 4x getting through this portion. Now Meeps did have a much better poison spell there than QC, but raged up that king. Gonna get to the Giga Tesla very quickly. The queen, she has plenty of health left over for this one, and she's gonna use her ability, grab the Giga Tesla, grab that Tesla, and a few more structures on her way out. So right here, I've paused it right where the loon deployment has started. There is obviously something that has to be done. You have to make some decisions on the fly, and this is one of those. So Meeps' pathing was great, but we do know that that sweeper has caused issues. Now, if you look at the sweeper down at 6 o'clock, that has been an issue in most of the raids, but look where it's already pointing. It's already pointing towards the Inferno tower. So it's not really going to play a huge role. The question is, how do we get that Inferno tower taken care of? And so the loon deployment has already started. You already know what the LaLo is going to look like. It's going to come in from here, from 12 o'clock, as it moves its way all around the base. But what's important is the couple of trailing loons that QC drops in. So after the main force obviously going to move up and get these defenses taken care of. She drops just 3 or 4 trailing loons to target the cannon. And as soon as the cannon goes down, what they end up retargeting is the Inferno tower. They do have to fight the sweeper, but the great thing about that is because they're fighting the sweeper, they want to get to the sweeper. The sweeper stays focused in that area, in that direction for the remainder of the raid, and plays no role on the loons that are making their way sweeping around the base in this one. And that is some great on the fly thinking. So let's watch it come in. All of those loons working their way in, dropping them in very, very nicely. There is the warden. You can see that Inferno Tower does get on the hound just a bit. But look at those trailing loons. Like I said, they are going to make a beeline right in for that Inferno Tower, and that is what it is all about. Skelly spell on the queen, working well. The warden ability to keep those skeletons alive and immortal through all of this. And look at that sweeper. Not causing any problems to the main pack of loons, and as she moves into the last area, things start to slow down. She goes ahead and rages everything up, and the loons are on top of all of these defenses very, very quickly. Huge balloon parade at the very end of this one, and even with that X-bow and that wizard tower up at the very end, that is not going to be enough to stop the 10 to 15 loons that she has up, and it goes down. And finally, base number 11 falls in the war. So once again, not a whole lot of detailed planning goes into that, right? It's not like we're going in and having a long discussion about it. We're making small tweaks to the raid, talking about it in game, and everything is working out very, very well for us. So let me put that on 4x speed one more time for you guys so you can see that one going in. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I enjoy doing the cleanup process. I enjoy doing the cleanup videos. I don't know if I'll do a lot more of these kind of like base breakdowns, process style videos. Maybe if the feedback is good, then I will continue to do more and more of them. But I think that that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully you all really enjoyed this one. Shout out to QC and shout out to everyone for getting that one to go in. But that is going to do it, I think, for this one. We'll see when the next one is going to be. But there's plenty of other things that I can cover. So that'll do it, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Until next time, this is Sam. Peace out.